Hello, everyone. We are going to have an interview with a former Donald Trump supporter, actually, current Donald Trump supporter after he watched the presidential debate. Okay, hi.
Hi, everybody.
So, I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, so if you can make just one word, what is your one word expression after you watch the last presidential debate?
Frustration.
Frustration. Okay.
Yes,
Um, who do you support between Donald Trump and Joe Biden?
obviously Donald Trump.
Why?
Because Joe Biden is a liar and he has not accomplished anything during his whole political career of 47 years. Um, and actually, he slanders Donald Trump very much with lies, made up lies. To make him look bad in the public eye and the eye of the media.
Right. But do you remember like in the debate, Joe Biden said, "Oh, you are a liar and you lie all the time." Like everybody knows. What does that mean? Like when Joe Biden said that?
I don't know Joe Biden personally, but I think that um, they look for exact statistics being accurate, and sometimes Donald Trump's style is to um, not be so exact, but he's poignant on the truth. Even though statistically the numbers might not be exact, and Joe Biden is actually guilty of the same thing.
Right. So basically, we can say both of them lied somehow, but different like types of lies.
I don't know how you would categorize a lie,
Mm-hmm.
but um, you'd have to give me an example and get into the nitty gritty of the lies, to be
Okay, so
honest.
that's gonna be long debate. So okay, let's move on to the
Right.
next question. Uh, who will win this upcoming election? You think eventually?
Well, in my opinion, a lot of people are not. They definitely don't want to vote for Joe Biden because he's not trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Donald Trump style may be abrasive. He may not be the greatest speaker or the greatest debater, but I think he truly has the success of American people uh, in his best interest. Um, let's remember he has a lot of businesses. He's a billionaire, and I think that he took on the job because he was aggravated by people in Washington that were being, lobbyists and people that were accepting money contributions that weren't supposed to be. And I think he truly wanted to expose all those bad people and make them accountable. And
Mm,
that's probably the biggest reason why they've been after him in the media, 98% negative since he was elected president.
I see. The CNN just reported recently about his tax, tax he income tax on the tax return, and they insisted that he only paid like $750 income tax on like 2016 and 17. What do you think? Do you think that's
Um,
a truth or
I think that
just?
that's an election tactic that they used exactly the same thing in 2016.
Uh huh.
There's no circumstantial evidence of any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's a man with many businesses and he's under constant audit. And when they're asked where they obtain the information, they can't give a straight answer because their sources are undetermined.
Mm,
So it is an election tactic,
mm,
as it was an election tactic 4 years ago.
I see.
So I believe he paid a lot of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very complicated,
Mm.
and I don't even understand how they could get that information, but I don't believe that. I truly do not believe that.
Okay.
And nobody can prove that.
Okay.
So,
Got it. What do you think is the biggest problem in American politics?
The biggest problem in American politics is there's not a lot of transparency among politicians to the public. Most of them are liars. Most of them bend the truth. Most of them do what they think is best for themselves, and they mislead the public to the point where they promise that they care about them. They promise that they will succeed and have a better life, and they have their best lives and their best interests, and they really don't. That they're about what they want to achieve in Washington and their world, and the secondary world would be the people, the public. So they kind of use the public as puppets in a way.
That's sad. Okay. Do you think having only two dominating parties in American politics is a good thing? Or we should just keep this as is? Or we need some transformation to multi-party system? What do you think about duopoly, political duopoly in America?
Well, I think that it's not a great system, and I think that the people should have more control of what when a bill is presented before the Senate and House and multi-party across the aisle decisions are being made. I think that should be more of an electoral process that the people have control of.
Okay. Do you know how many parties in German Congress? How many parties working together in Germany?
I don't know. Maybe you could educate me on that.
six parties. In Sweden, 8 parties working together. So people have more various choices to choose, I guess.
Right.
But anyway, so what do you think about America's healthcare system? And did you like Obamacare personally?
Well, I mean, on a personal level, I noticed as soon as Obamacare was instituted, my health care cost doubled. And
wow.
Doubled.
Oh, wow.
For my my monthly payment or my yearly premium doubled. I also noticed the cost of prescription medications went up more than I feel like they doubled, but they definitely increased 30 or 40%.
Wow.
From before Obamacare. So
wow.
That's directly what I saw.
Oh, that's your personal experience.
That's my personal experience. Yeah.
Is anything changed after Trump got elected, or basically it's the same? He said in the debate he got rid of the mandatory, the system.
The subsidies.
No, the mandatory. For example, if I cancel the Obamacare, I had to pay fine. When I paid the tax.
He did get rid of that.
Right. I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But is anything else like your premium or copay got changed after Donald Trump elected?
No, because he actually presented the American Health Care Act right in the beginning, the first month that he was in office, but the Democrats couldn't agree with the Republicans to get it passed, and it was a much better. It was much better because it allowed insurance companies to compete with each other across state lines. So it would give you a choice to get a less expensive policy.
But the Democratic Party against it, so he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it to. They wouldn't allow it to happen, and I think in the debate with Biden, he said that Donald promised that he would get this fixed and passed, and it was all they all have to be in agreement. So that was that was kind of a direct lie just to
Mm-mm.
make Donald Trump look bad, like he didn't do anything. But
Right. But
they
Trump
had a very,
said,
very
right.
detailed plan.
Right. But Trump said he allowed governors to go to other countries to get insulin or cheaper medicine. So that's what he did. But
Um,
basically, he couldn't really lower drug prices in America because the law is so strict. And, most
right,
of congressmen work for pharmaceutical companies. They took so much money from them,
right.
right? So I think that's a really big hardship, big challenge Donald Trump get through. It must be very difficult for him to do it anyway because it's
Right.
systemic, right? Corruption in American politics. I hope he
It's
can
hard
try
to
more.
leverage. Yeah,
Mm,
when people are making money and there's a lot of corruption, it's very
right,
difficult to get anything changed.
right. Okay, so okay, what do you think about the 70,000 yearly cost for American college? Do you think that's a reasonable price, or do you think that's too much for young people, like college students?
Well,
Mm,
of course that's too expensive. So
mm,
I thought it should be, if, there should be certain colleges that are available for free,
mm.
um, and if they wanted to go to a college that was more,
Maybe
you know,
affordable.
well, I mean, you could have two levels of colleges, right? You could have the very high end colleges and then the affordable colleges.
Mm,
Um, I think that there should be a choice there, and if you
mm,
can't afford it,
mm,
then you should be able to access,
mm,
education
mm,
for free through
mm,
some program or through some subsidy or
mm,
something.
okay. What is the biggest problem you want the next president to fix, if you can choose one?
The biggest problem I would want the new president to fix would be, um, God, that is a. I mean, what?
Just like
Take a.
what is the biggest problem you have as a business owner? Like you want some change, you know?
Well, the biggest problem with small business,
Mm,
less than, I don't know, what do they consider a small business? Less than 500 employees,
mm-hmm. Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
So I think that they should definitely lower the tax rate on small business,
Mm,
because what happens is a lot of people in small business cheat. They don't pay all their taxes.
mm,
They workers work for cash instead of being paid above board on the books, and then they don't qualify for unemployment benefits and Social Security and 401k and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I think the government should make that available. They should make it easier for small businesses to
Mm,
be above board and pay all their taxes and
mm,
be able to support all their employees.
mm. It's very interesting because in America or South Korea, tax is considered as like government taking your money from you, right?
Right.
But in Sweden or other like welfare state countries, the tax is considered as a treasure. So which means the government is so transparent. So when they pay tax, they believe in government to pay back with a benefit for majority of
Right.
people. So
Well, the
tax is
taxes.
not a bad thing in their
Tax.
countries. Uh-huh.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So instead of lowering tax because tax is negative, but if you just change, like think out of box just for a moment, and if you're willing to pay tax, what benefit would you expect from the government to help your business or your life?
Well, I mean, I do pay tax. I'm I do pay my employees
Mm-hmm.
well, and I
Mm-hmm.
pay tax.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think the more employees that you have, that you stimulate the economy with, that you should get some kind of a tax credit or some kind of a incentive to hire more people and
Oh yeah, they do.
pay more
Yeah.
tax.
For example, in Sweden, they have they have that kind of system. Yeah, to
I
stimulate the economy. Yeah.
I
But
agree. I agree
but
with that.
do you prefer to have some strong social safety net for your personal life so that you can just be, you can just run business without worrying so much about going bankrupt or losing more businesses? Like if you have a like strong social safety net, you will feel much, better while you're running the
Sure.
business, right? Yeah, I think
Obviously, yes.
yeah, I think that's what it is in Sweden, like they believe. Okay, but anyway, let's move on to the next question. What do you think about super PAC and money influence in American politics overall?
Why don't you give me an introduction to what the current super PAC
A super
means?
PAC means like since the Ronald Reagan era and the Citizens United, some types of organization, they sue the federal government, say, corporations has to be considered as a human, thus they have a freedom of speech. So we can donate as much as money, we want to express our freedom of speech to the politics. So it basically what they did is they allowed unlimited money to go into the politics. So any corporations, any small interest groups, they can just donate unlimited amount to politics. That's how the lobbyist job is like boomed,
Right.
Yeah, so lobbyists work for corporations.
Right.
Yeah,
Obviously,
on
that can
behalf.
influence their decisions on
Right,
getting things
exactly.
done.
But then the interesting thing is they made kind of this kind of, I mean, in South Korea or many other country, we call it as a bribe, but in America
Mm,
it's illegal as a super PAC.
right.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Well, I don't think that that's fair, and I think calling it a bribe would be accurate,
Mm-hmm.
and not it shouldn't be permissible.
Mm.
Uh, the way they have it structured now, because that gives them unlimited power to donate whatever they want, and I don't think that that's a fair way to leverage. They're trying to leverage decision making and policies and all kinds of things that we don't know about that happen behind the scenes, and I don't think they should allow it. Yeah, I think that
Mm.
they should,
Mm. Do you
and that's one
know?
of the things that Donald Trump was behind. Draining the swamp and
Right.
making people accountable, and he didn't support that. He
I
wanted to
remember
restructure.
that. Yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm a billionaire. I don't need to take donations from those companies," and that was
Right.
very appealing to many people, right? That time.
Well, and not only him, he
Mm.
didn't want that to happen on any level at
Right, right,
any company.
right. Do you know the biggest industry to donate most money into politics in America? Like, do you know any idea? Do you have any idea? Like, what is the biggest industry to donate most money into American politics? If you name one industry.
Well, I would say probably energy and pharmaceutical.
Oh, yeah, you're correct. Pharmaceutical was number one. Energy, yeah, energy, insurance company, military industrial complex, Wall Street, financial industries were the next. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Who is the biggest enemy? Oh, by the way, when Obama bailed out the financial companies instead of ordinary people back then in 2008, that's because I think Obama took so much money from Wall Street when he, you know, uh, was campaigning to be
Mm.
elected. So yeah, that I think that is why Trump got elected. That is one of the major reasons because people were so disappointed by Democratic, party that time and Obama. So too sad. But anyway, what do you think about? Okay, so who is the biggest enemy against the American public within the America? You think?
The media.
The media. Okay. Why?
Well, because the media bends the truth and only exposes the public to what they want them to see and hear to influence them in the direction they want to point them. And it should be a transparent process. The media should be clear and honest, so people and the public can make their own decisions and weigh their own the facts. And it's the facts are very twisted,
Biased. Yeah.
and I think that becomes an enemy of the people, because in order for people to make an informed decision on what they support, they have a convoluted view of that because of the media being so dishonest.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think the voting rate is so low in America? And is there any way to fix it? Like voting rate was like 40 something percent, like average voting rate. So half of Americans, they just don't vote. What do you think about that?
I think it's laziness, and so I don't think it's just voting. I mean, maybe Americans are kind of lazy, and they have, so a lot of people have the attitude that they will make a difference. If those people that didn't vote knew those percentages were so low, which they probably don't, because they're not intelligent enough or informed enough to know that, then they might go out and make a difference and vote. But unfortunately, that's something that may never change too much. Maybe a few points, but not many.
So they're kind of hopeless, and they think, oh, voting wouldn't change anything. Like they're like more, they became more like, I don't know, like. Just,
I think that they would be more energized if they were more excited about who they were voting for.
Oh, I see. So we need a better candidates, you think?
Something like that would get more people to vote.
Right. Okay. What country's politics do you know, maybe, and you think is better than America? Like maybe like role model somehow.
Well, I mean, I don't know a lot about that. Maybe you should let the audience know.
I mean, I don't
discovered.
know. My personal, I always tell my audience maybe we can learn from like Sweden or Denmark, those countries, like social democracy countries. You know anything about social democracy? Not really?
Yeah,
You never heard?
So, yes, it's more of a balanced system where everybody is treated equally, and they pay equal taxes, and
yeah, I can't really hear you. Like we're almost finished interview.
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
Much better.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, it's everybody pays equal taxes, and they benefit. Same health care, same safety net for the public. I'm sure there's a lot of benefits to that, but I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So it's worth to check it out. But anyway, so what 3 things would you do if you were the president? Like now, what 3 things you wanna do right now?
What 3 things would I do right now? Well,
if you're the president.
Well, I would try to. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one, to be honest.
Not really. So you wanna like. So you never thought about this? Like, what was your most complaints in America, like overall? Like maybe healthcare too expensive.
Well, yeah, healthcare is too expensive. Taxes on property are too expensive. I think the things that are trying to get passed in the Congress, new bills to benefit the public, the general public, are very long. It's a long process. They should make that process shorter, and they should make the public more involved and give them a voice.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So final, almost Yeah, there are only two left. What is your advice for South Korean people to learn from American politics?
Don't be a liar.
So,
Be honest. To learn from American
right,
politics,
right,
probably.
right. Yeah.
Uh, don't don't use American politics as the standard because it's not a
Oh,
very great system.
yeah, I see.
You know,
Okay.
I think.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
yeah, unless you want to get a headache.
Get a headache. Okay, my final
Yeah,
question.
I'll take
Do
that
you have
serious.
okay? Do you have any last word before we finish this interview to Korean people?
Well, I wish everybody luck with their the election and getting the right people in office to benefit everybody. I know it's similar to American politics, and it's probably not the best thing, but make sure you whatever whatever you can do to make your voice heard. Don't be afraid to contact your uh, public officials to uh, help you to achieve what you can for to make your life better and that's really the only thing that you have. So don't be safe, but don't back away from that. Make sure you keep your voice out there and make sure you tell your friends to stand behind what you believe in, and things can get done. But if you don't do anything, then nothing's going to get done. If you don't get out there and let people know who you are and what you believe in.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah. That was a really good answer. Okay, thank you for the interview and hope
All right, you're
yeah.
welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a good night.
You too.